One of the most dangerous books in existence, at least in my opinion, is the Malleus Maleficarum. Now, if you're unaware of what that is, that's okay. I was too until I went to Salem, but this book can best be described as a field guide on how to kill a witch. And one of the most interesting things about the Malleus Maleficarum is that there was only one book more popular than it during its time, and that was the Holy Bible. So that meant that many people would go out, they would grab their Bibles, then the second thing they would go and grab was a book that would tell you how to identify, capture, and kill a witch. Now, I'm sure you can imagine the kind of chaos this book created for those who fit the description of the witches listed in that book. A lot of women were victims of this book, and so were other people who didn't fit the societal norms. So this is why, in my opinion, the Malleus Maleficarum, also known as the Hammer of the Witch, or How to Kill a Witch, is one of the most dangerous books out there, especially if you happen to be living from the 1400s through the early 1700s, because it would not spare you. This book was the source of mass hysteria, and it contributed to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people. Well, maybe tens of thousands of people. And one of the things that always made me curious about those who condemned witchcraft, especially back in the 1415s and 1600s, is the fact that in order to get the items in this book, the information needed to create it, is the fact that some of the shit in that book, and others like it, seem to be rather witchy in nature. So either the people who created the guidelines for this book were sadistic, which I believe is genuinely true, or they were practicing something on their own and just had a level of self-hatred. It could be a combination of the two. It could be something beyond that. But I always thought this book in particular was creepy because it has really interesting methods of torture that also leave you with no good outcome. So although I don't know if this example is in the book, it reminds me of that famous one where you throw a witch in the water, and if she drowns, she's not a witch, but if she floats, she's a witch. There's no good way to get out of that, because either you're gonna die by drowning or you're going to survive and then be killed off later. So a lot of these things make it difficult to even plead your case. And again, one of the scariest things about this book, aside from the methods of torture found within it, is how often it was acquired. Again, it was the second most obtained book after the Bible. But anyways, I want to know if you guys have heard of the Malleus Maleficarum. If not, you want more information, I have attached a YouTube link that will tell you more about it. It is very interesting, sad, creepy, weird, all of the above. But I want to know what you guys are thinking about this video. Have you heard about the Malleus Maleficarum before? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking, and I will see you guys in my next video.